What up, y'all? It's your girl Selena coming at you with another video. Alright, so today is the first episode of Realities of My 20s. Alright, so I'm introducing a new series on my channel called Realities of My 20s because so far my 20s is acting like a TV show, and I just feel like what I'll talk about in this series will be helpful to those coming up from high school, persons my age, persons that are probably a little bit older than me but are still in their 20s, and even if you're not in your 20s, some of these things can still be very helpful to you. So today, as you can see from the title, I'll be talking about owning my first car. Alright? Owning my first car. Now, listen. It's a whole story I'm going to tell you. Okay? I'm going to tell you a whole story. Because getting to the point to own my first car did not come easy. And I'm just so grateful and so thankful, and I feel so blessed that I have the opportunity of owning my first. But you know what, let's get into the story. Alright, so I'm going to start this story from when I was 18 and how I came to wanting to own my first car in the first place. Because I feel like sometimes when persons talk about stuff like getting to own their first car, they don't tell the full story. They make it sound like, oh, they got up one day and they just went to buy their first car, or they just went to get the loan to get their first car. But I'm going to tell you guys the reality of me owning my first car in my 20s, and just some financial stuff that came with it that I did not expect. Okay, I did not expect it, and we're gonna go through it in this video. But before we get there, I'm gonna ask you guys to, you know what, let me not start with that. I want to thank all my subscribers for subscribing to my channel. Listen, I love you guys so much. I love you guys so much. Like, I met one of my subscribers like yesterday. I met her yesterday, and she's so sweet. She's so sweet. She's so sweet, and I'm so happy, and you know yourself, and I just want to thank you for coming to me and saying hi and introducing yourself, and I hope, you know, keep in contact and stuff. And if you ever see me anywhere and you know me, you can come to me. That's fine. I love you all. I know I don't know most of my subscribers, but I know some of you, and I just want to tell you, the subscribers that are on Journey with Sil are amazing people. Amazing people, and I just want you guys to just continue doing great in life. You can use my tips and stuff and help you, so you don't have to go through what I go through, but I love that. And if you're not yet a subscriber, if you're not yet on this journey with me, I'm gonna ask you to click that subscribe button, okay? And welcome to the family. I don't have a name, but welcome to the family. And I have a ton of videos on my channel, different things, UE, university, blah blah. So go explore my videos and choose one that you like, and trust me, there's probably one connected to that one too. So you can go explore my channel, find something that's for you, and click on that subscribe button. Alright, let's jump back into the video. Alright, so me wanting to own my first car started from when I was 18. I wanted to own my first car from when I was 18 years old because I saw a lot of persons around me. They had their first car, they had their own car already. So me, with my enough self, knowing that I cannot afford a car, wanted a car. Wanted my own car at 18. And you know, I would ask my mom, like, Mom, can you buy me a car? Because, you know, persons around me, they have their own car. Mom, can you buy my car? My mother could not afford that. That was not nice of me. My father either. So that was not nice of me. But I wanted my own car so badly. Anyways, 18 come and go. It never happened. And really and truly, I did not need a car when I was 18. I started university at 18. I lived on hall. I did not need a car. I did just enough. And so that's what you will learn as you go through adulthood. You will learn to stop nuffing up yourself in things that don't concern your budget, that things that don't concern your peace, and you'll just learn to leave things alone that's not meant for you. Alright? So 19 came and went, and I still did not own my first car. And 20 came and went, and I still did not own my first car. Anyways, 2022, was it? 2022, I went on work and travel, and I was adamant. I was like, this money that I'm gonna work is going to be towards my first car. And listen, let me tell you guys the budget that I had. Let me tell you guys the budget I had for my first car. I was like, the budget I'm having for my first car is $800,000. My first car is going to be $800,000 because that's the amount that I'll possibly be able to work and travel without using all my money. So $800,000. Jamaican, for those who are probably, you know, not from Jamaica. $800,000. That's about 8,000. That's about 9,000 US. Right? No, that's about it's about 7,000 US dollars, right? So while I was overseas and working and stressing myself, because at one point I was what was I doing? I remember I used to hotel. I don't remember the name. Them say hotel associate, room attendant. I was a room attendant. I don't think that's the proper name. That's not the proper name. But I was the one to spread the bed and whatever, right? And that was working out for me. Anyways, that's a whole different story. I think I'd have a video about it on work and travel and my experience. Anyways, so I was up there stressing myself to get to that amount of money that I needed to get to. And at one point I wanted to give up because I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I doing all this just to get a car? You know, I'm privileged enough that my parents, they own their own car, that if I wanted to go somewhere I could borrow their car. But I had the mentality that I never wanted to ask anybody, you know, if I could borrow the car to go here, or borrow the car to go there, or, you know, ask permission to go here, ask permission to go there. I wanted to be able to go in my own car, turn my own key, and go where I wanted to go. Okay, so because of that, I still pushed myself to go get my own car and work the money to get my own car. But that came at a price. You know, I was drained. I worked myself out so much just to get to that amount and have leftovers after coming back to buy a car. So while I was over in the States, I started car hunting. So I went on this website named jacars.net. I think that's the name of the website. Don't quote me. I went on an online website to look at some cars that persons had for sale. So I was really aiming to get an old car. I know that I wasn't going to get a new car for 800,000. I knew it was going to be a used old car, and I was content. I was content with that, you know. And then my cousin knew I was car hunting, so he said, Selena, you know, I found a car for you. You're gonna love it. It was a Subaru Legacy. Listen, I was obsessed. Anyways, so he told me about the car, and I was like, take it. I'm taking it. And I got the car. I bought the car, for $600,000. And I just felt so blessed that I got the car within the range that I wanted to, you know, to buy a car for, my first car for. But little did I know, little did I know that it didn't just end at buying the car. Okay, so my mom did the whole transaction for me. Everything was fine regarding the transaction for the car. I got the papers for it. So all I needed to do when I came down was, you know, I have my car, I have the keys to the car, just gonna go. No, absolutely not, absolutely not, absolutely not. Okay, so I came back to Jamaica. Had this fantasy in my head that when I come back, all I'm going to do is turn the keys in the car and go about my business and what I want to do. Anyways, I come back to Jamaica with my naive self and found out that I'm going to have to service the car. I'm going to have to make the car fit. I'm going to have to, you know, go through fitness with the car, register the car, get license plate for the car, put the car in my name. And if anything, I have to go fix up some stuff on the car. Yeah, I did not know. While I was overseas, I did get some accessories for the car, like car mats and some basic stuff. The little mirrors to put on the side mirrors, and you know, little accessories. But I did not know I was gonna come back to all the other things that I just listed. Anyways, let me give you guys a price breakdown of, listen. Anyways, so got a car for $600, and there were still things on that car that I needed to fix up. Did not know I was coming back into that. Granted, yes, it's a used car, but still never planned to come back and spend more money. Alright, so when I came back, the first thing I had to do was get battery. I had to get a battery for the car because the battery that originally came with the car never good. I was so sad. So a car battery, let me just help you guys out if you're going to own your first car soon, blah blah blah. So a car battery, well, at least the one that I bought for my car, that was for, was it 15, I think it was around 15, 18, around that price. I think it was 18,000, close to 20. It never reached 20, but it was around that price. I think it was 18,000, somewhere there. So the car battery was $18,000. Listen, I'm not adding with you guys, okay? But $18,000. And after I got the car battery, I had to, as I said, I have to put the car in my name. In order to put the car in my name, I have to get the car insured. Now, what I did not know was that insurance was so expensive. You see what, listen, when I tell you I went into this whole owning a car thing very naively, I seriously, I genuinely thought that once I buy the car, that would be it. No, that was not it. Anyways, so because it's an old car, not all insurance companies would cover the car. So for instance, it was a 2006 car, so Advantage General was not touching that, period, right? So the insurance company I got to use was BCIC because they cover old cars. So yeah, pretty much they cover older cars. So I went to BCIC, and because I had my license for 3 years, so I had my license for a good amount of time. I think it was 3 years, plus I was turning 23. So yeah, so if I was younger than 23, my insurance would have been way more. If my driver's license was younger than 3 years, I think it would have been more. And if I was in any previous accidents or whatever, you know, reasonably so, it would have been more. And it was just whew. Anyways, so let me tell you the cost of how much my insurance came to. Okay, so my insurance came up to 200 and something, 260, I think it was $260,000. Keep in mind, I just buy a battery for 18 grand, and that did break me. Okay, and then I find out that in order to drive my car, in order to have the car in my name, I'm going to have to pay $260,000 for insurance, because I can't do anything else until I pay that $260,000 for my insurance. And as I said to you before, it would have been more than that if I was younger than 23, and if my driver's license was younger than 3 years, it would have been way more than $260,000. Okay, so I yielded, and I paid my $260,000. Listen now, I buy the car for $600, pay $18,000 for battery, so that's $618,000 so far, right? And now $260,000 for insurance, and I paid it one time because I was like, I don't want to do the monthly payment thing, I'll just pay it one time. So I paid it one time. That was 800 and something. Is that 9? It reached 9? It reached 9? Let's say 9. It reached $900 and something thousand. So far, we're not done. We're not done, okay? So we're not done. We're not done. Anyway, so $900 and something thousand we're at. We just get battery, we just get insurance. All the money, adulting, realities of my 20s, okay? Like, listen, people will see you and judge you and don't even know where you get your first dime. Like, I remember that you have some persons, they don't know me, they don't know my background, they don't know nothing about me, but they know I'm young and they know I have a car, and they just assume, oh, your mom bought the car for you. Or listen, as much as I wished at that moment that my mom bought the car for me, no dear, no, this $900 and something thousand so far was coming out of my pocket. All right, my very hard earned, spreading beds, hurting hand, dealing with people foolishness in the States, my pocket. Anyways, so we go on to tax office with our insurance. We have our insurance now, and go tax office, have to pay for registration. So because I never owned a license before, I have to get a new license, and a new license, I believe I paid $7,000 for a new license. If I wanted it customized, it would have been more money, and I was not doing that. First of all, if you want it customized, you're not going to get it at the same time, right? So you have to get a regular license for the $7,000, and then you have to pay like 10 or 12, I believe, $12,000 for a customized one. So you're paying 7 plus 12. I wasn't about that life. I was not doing that. I already broke. All right. So I got a regular license with the KKK, you know, whatever, and I paid my $7,000 for my license. So that's one. You get your license, you have to pay for registration, you need your registration sticker, right? So have to pay for registration. Registration, I believe, was $12,000. Are you feeling my pain right now? Anyways, so we reached 900 the last time, so now we add 12,000 to it plus the 7, so that's 7, 8, 9, that's 19. Listen, I can't do maximum. Help me, alright? Do your calculations yourself, you'll see. So that's 17, so that's $917,000 so far out of my pocket. And then fitness, I believe fitness was 6.5 or 6.5. I don't remember the cost of fitness, but fitness was around 4 or 6. I don't remember the exact. So there was fitness, you have to do fitness, but it was an old car, it was a used car, which means what? Which means that there's certain things that would not get me passing my fitness, right? Anyways, so because I don't want to fail my fitness, it was recommended to me to change my tires, y'all. Listen, new tires. So I went to tire warehouse for my tires, and I changed 2 tires because I could at the time I could just change 2 tires and that would be fine for me to pass my fitness, right? So I changed 2 tires and that cost me, how much was it? 1 tire was 10, 12. I think in all I paid 30,000. Yes, 1 tire was 15. So in all I paid $30,000 for my 2 tires. Y'all. So that's what now? 940 something. $940 something thousand. Can you see the tears running up my eyes? Anyway, so that's 940 something. So you guys remember that I initially thought after the 600 it would have been over, it would have been done. Wrong. It did not end at 600. It continued to 900 and something $1,000, and it doesn't stop there. Okay, so now the car can drive. I have the insurance, I have it registered, I have it fit, everything is, I have my battery. Life is good, life is great. But then listen, you have to service your car. Now I don't know what I was thinking when it came to owning a car, but I just assumed all you needed to do was put gas in it. Well, I was wrong, and if that's how you're thinking, well, you're wrong too, because I had to service the car. So I remember I went to a mechanic, and listen, I think this is what you have to learn to as an adult. You cannot just take something as you get it. You have to go, you have to search around, you have to find different mechanics and get different quotes and stuff. The first mechanic I went to was telling me $80,000 to just service a car, literally, to change the oil, change the air filters. That don't even include me buying the oil and buying the air filters. No, just $80,000 just to do the service. Okay, I was not going to do that. I was not paying somebody $80,000 to service a car. I'm sorry, no. I could have reached done. I was not doing that. Anyway, so I searched around and looked for another mechanic, and this mechanic now was a Subaru specialist, and he charged me $15,000 to service the car. Me, so where I moved from 80 grand to 15 grand. Tell me that man wasn't trying to scam me because I'm a female. Tell me, look me in my face and comment below and tell me I was not being scammed. Anyways, so this new mechanic now, Subaru specialist, charging me $15,000 to service the car. I had to get, of course, my oil and my air filters and all of those stuff, which came, I believe it came up to around 20 something or 30 something to get just the basic servicing stuff for the car. But it's an old car, so there were a few other problems. Okay, listen, when the mechanic told me, my heart sank. So while he was looking at the car, he found out that there was something was wrong with the transmission. Something was wrong with the transmission. So he would have to change something in the transmission. Listen, I don't know the terms, but something like that. So I have to change transmission some, and that would have cost me some more money. I don't even listen. At some point, I forgot how much money. Listen, I don't reach 900 and something that I never planned to spend an additional 300 grand. And anyways, so we got the transmission fixed, and then there was another problem. The AC wasn't working. It used to work, then it stopped work. So I had to get the air. I had to gas it, but it wasn't just gas. There was genuinely something wrong with the cooling thing. I don't know the term, but there was something wrong with the cooling thing, and I had to get that changed. So that was another 20 grand to get that changed. Yeah, it was a lot of money. Listen, I'm not discouraging anyone to own their first car, but if you're going to own your first car, it's best you go in there with all the details as best as possible. I have nothing against buying a used car, but if you're going to buy a used car, make sure you bring a mechanic, like a mechanic that know what him do, like a specialist with that vehicle or something, so that you can know everything. You can probably get a price cut. Because genuinely, if I knew that so many things were wrong with the car before, I probably could have get the price lower than 600, you know, but I did not know. And the mechanic that went to look at the vehicle used a machine to scan it, and the machine never picked that up. So bring somebody that will actually look at the vehicle itself instead of using just a machine, so that you can probably get a reduction in the price for the car or something of the sort. Check around for insurance. As I said, not every insurance agency, depending on the year of the car, if it's an old car, certain insurance companies not going to provide insurance for it, but you can try talk to them, you know, if yeah, try that. But go into buying a car, owning your car, with a realistic mindset. It's not all roses. It is costly, and especially if it's a used car, you have to prepare your mind that, okay, something might be wrong with it. Yes, I buy it for this cost, but I'll still have to be responsible for fixing certain things. I'll still be responsible for servicing it. And then of course you have your annual stuff like insurance and servicing. Well, servicing is not annual. Servicing is every 3-4 months. You have the annual things of fitness, registration, insurance. And if anything can possibly happen to the vehicle, you still have to account for that. For instance, my front mirror, my windshield, it cracked. I don't know how it cracked. It cracked and it broke my heart. Anyways, luckily the insurance covered changing the windshield, but it's a one-time thing, you know what I mean? So if it should happen more than once or whatever, you have to go find the money to change your windshield yourself. If something should happen to your car, breakdown, need a tire, whatever, you have to account for that money, you know. And let's not even talk about gas, okay? At the time when I was buying gas, I was traveling a good distance between work and home, and gas for me, as much as my Subaru used to hold gas, like it saved gas, right? Even though it's an old car, that Subaru tank was big and it used to keep gas. So for 1 week I used to put like $10,000 in there, and it would carry me through. I normally fill up half tank, like when it reached half or a little below half, I'd fill up my tank. So that would be around 6 to fill it if it was half, and around 10, 12 if it's empty. And yeah, for the month it would have been like 40, 50, depending on how much gas costs, because gas was fluctuating, gas enough. And you have to take that into account too. You have to take into account how much gas going to cost you based on where you're going and what you're doing, right? So you have to think about all those things when it comes to owning a car. Yeah, but don't go into it naive. Like, if you want to own your car, you can do it, but have a realistic mindset towards it. Prepare your budget, because you're going to have to be very responsible with owning a car. You can't just be careless, like, oh, you know, who going to put gas in there for drive? You need for service. You don't want police stop you and your papers up and all. No, you have to make sure that everything is good with your car, right? There were a few things I got with my car when I got it, and I still do. So if you hear how I'm talking, I don't have the car that I bought before. I changed my car, right? So I still own a car, but I changed. So it's a different car. But the previous car, that's the one I'm talking about. And when I had that car, I had JAA. I still do have JAA, but those are some things I got immediately when I got my car. I got JAA. So they're automobile agents. So if you break down on the road, they'd come to you. If you have any problems, or if you want them to go and register your vehicle or fit your vehicle, they would pick up your vehicle and go do it if you don't have time to do it on your own, or if you just don't want to go to tax office yourself and deal with all that line and foolishness, they would do it for you. And they weren't expensive. I had the gold package, and that was for $6,000, so that wasn't bad. What else did I have? I had toll, because at the time I had to go back and forth, so I had toll, the toll cards, so I had to pay for the toll cards. The Angel toll, to get that thing, that cost me $6,000 to get that. The regular one, the Portmore Spanish Town one, that was, I think it was $5, I don't remember, or was it $2.5, something like that, but it was somewhere there, and it was helpful. I never had to be worried about having the cash on me all the time. Why is this so long? This is 32 minutes. Who is going to watch this? Anyways, this is going to be the end of the video now, because this is long, Lord. Anyways, thank you for journeying with me, and bye.